And welcome back to part 5. I had to remember which part I was on. Part 5 of What If Naruto Gained One for All. Last time in a Naruto What If, Naruto had just and Team 7 and everyone had just completed the preliminaries for the Chunin exam's final exam tournament. Now they're on the month break. Him and All Might went to the hot springs to just relax and talk about what the plan was for the training, only to hear a familiar voice tell another familiar voice that I will not allow any irreputable behavior. Keep it down, you fool. You want to get us caught? And so Ebisu is kind of floored, and now they're just looking at this guy like, who is this guy? All Might just well, it's not really any of our business, but then again, we can't really have people. I guess I should go look into who this is. So he gets dressed like, as Jiraiya goes back to stairs. Excuse me. Not to say that I'm necessarily this guy's biggest fan, but he does have a point. Spying on women in the bathhouse is pretty sleazy to do. Oh, come on. You're really gonna rat on us? Me? No, not me. But, hey, old man, stop staring at women in the bathhouse! What? Why would you do that? I was like, what? I was like, later. I think I took my. Now, ladies, don't fret. As I hear the great Jiraiya to swoon you and protect you in my manly arms. Ah! Just the girl screams. The Timmy Turner scream. Dad scream. That again, I don't. He never actually did that, but that's how I always interpret it in my head. He does the high pitched girl scream that Timmy Turner's dad did in Fairly Odd Parents, and they're just now like, he's just, I deserve that. Like at the same time, I was like, why? But at the same time, he's like, I deserve that. He kind of just, well, gee, thanks a lot. Now I gotta go somewhere else to get inspiration for my next book. Your next book? I was like, of course, you don't know who I am. I'm Jiraiya, the great Toad Sage of Konoha, the three great Sanin, and author of the great series ever made. And All Might just like, and All Might realizes you're Jiraiya Jiraiya of the Sanin, and I have to admit, I am a big fan of your work. It's like, wait, All Might Sensei, what's that about? No, it's nothing, Naruto. Don't worry. I'm just a fan of his work. Hey, wait a minute. I recognize that book. That's that trashy shit Kakashi Sensei reads in front of us. Oh, come on. There's a lot more to it. The story's really good. Really? Then what about the other stuff? All Might. Anyway, forgive me. Forgive me. Even though I'm not from. I should have realized who you were when I say, no, it's all right. I don't go bragging about it myself all the time. But anyway, who are you are? Oh, Toshinori Yaga. Though my name is also All Might. Really, All Might. Sarutobi did mention something about you. Wait, who is he again? Naruto. They didn't teach you about him in school. And then All Might realizes, oh yeah. Well, no. He's among the three great Sanin of Konoha, and he explains who the Sani is. It's like, wait, you're as strong as that snake bastard Orochimaru? Just Jiraiya hears that, and he did hear Orochimaru had shown back up in Konoha. But Jiraiya kind of gives the comment strike. I'm at least as, if not, I'm sounding a bit more like Mike Guy right now. At least as strong, maybe even stronger, kid. It's like, whoa. Is there anything you could teach me? Well, don't forget, Naruto, we gotta do our training as well. Well, maybe you could both train me. And Jiraiya's like, it looks like you got a fine trainer here, kid. I don't need to. Besides, I didn't come here to, be training anyone for anything. I have other important business to take care of. Say, oh, come on, please. Like, Jiraiya, I think you maybe owe it to the kid just a little bit. Hinting because, as far as we know, the only person still alive in Konoha who knows Jiraiya is Naruto's godfather, apart from Jiraiya himself, would have probably been Sarutobi, and even then, I'm not 100% sure on that. Let me know in the comments if Sarutobi knew. I think he did, but he's probably the only one who does. And maybe he did tell, since All Might had taken a good interest in Naruto, did let Jiraiya, when mentioned Jiraiya, he did feel it important to let him know. Kakashi might have known too. Now I think about it, because he did know Naruto was Minato's son. But Yeah, it's possible Kakashi knew, but either way, seeing as you owe him for some missed time, and Jiraiya quickly gets a little. It's like, and what exactly do you mean by? You could take it up with a third, obviously. I'm not saying I'm passing him off to you. There's plenty I need to teach the kid that you can't, but I'm saying at least give him some of your time of day. That's all I'm saying. And Jiraiya is just finally picking up on it, just like, what? It's like, I see, so you know. And Dry now is a little bit more dubious, like, he's clever, but also, like, he's feeling a bit of guilt, like, it's true, I didn't take him. All right, tell you what, I'll at least stick with you for a few days. How about that? And it's like, cool, so what are we going to do? Well, first, let's get some lunch. And Jiraiya's like, I can be down to eat. And so they get lunch, and then they finally go to training ground. Well, I don't even think they were in a training ground. They were just in a nice little area to train in. And so, oh, excuse me one second. Oh, got yawn code. Oh, God. Okay. I'm just tired. I was like, I need a nap. I feel like I need a nap. So there's, okay, so what we got to learn, all my sensei? Yes, that's a good question. Well, seeing as you've now tapped into at least 15% of one for all, and he has no issue saying this in front of Jiraiya. A, because Jiraiya, he knows from reputation, Jiraiya is a very trusting and loyal ninja. But B, he has no idea what he's talking about. Well, one for all, you've now discovered you can access some of its other abilities. Well, what? You mean like Black Whip? Well, Black Whip's something only you can access, and I can't really teach you how to access that. No, what I'm talking about is that what you did in that fight with Kiba. So, you mean, and he read the air blast. Yes, once you start using more than 15% of the strength of one for all. Oh, your muscles are moving with such power and velocity, you're actually creating gusts of air. If you learn how to harness that, you can use it not just for offense or defense, but even for travel. It's like, what? Travel? It's like, what exactly are you talking about? Please, and tell him I kind of sauce. One second. Allow me to show you. And Jiraiya's like, what the hell did he just do? And Naruto's looking on. Can you really fly? And just all of a sudden, All Might just jumps up in the air and suddenly goes, poof, 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 poof. You tell me, young Naruto. Ha ha! Amazing, isn't it? Whoa, that's awesome! And Naruto suddenly like powers up to 15%. Okay, here I go. What? It's like, whoa! All right, it'll take some getting used to, Naruto, but don't worry. In time, you'll be able to fly with the best of them. Meanwhile, Jiraiya's just looking on like, what? How the hell are they doing that? I'm maybe gonna have to actually talk to Saratobi about this guy. Like, who is this guy? And so after a while, he's getting it down. Naruto tries to use the clones with it, but finds that because of the air gusts, he's actually popping the clones out of existence. It's like, crap. Maybe I can. And Naruto's thinking, maybe I can kind of use it like Black Whip, like I channel it, and he kind of decides to use other techniques with the air slash, or the air current, air gust. I think it's like an air gust. Point being is that air pressure shot, whatever you want to call it. The thing is that All Might, we only see him using gusts. When you think about it, though, because of the way that ability works, so long as you know how to create a proper gust, you can do whatever you need to. Instead of just throwing a punch, you can have your hand flat and basically do like a wave. Like a giant, almost like a giant wave of air, just poof everything away. Or if you're using your hand like a blade, just and theoretically you could cut things from a distance with an air slash. And as long as you have the physical capability to do it, giant, the air smack, all that. As long as you have the theoretical capability of doing it, physically speaking, there's nothing you can't do with it as long as your imagination allows. As long as you can come up with it. So Naruto starts starting to train with some of his other abilities, maybe even incorporating like the air slash with Black Whip. I think he's finding that one difficult because Black Whip itself is like straight energy, while One for All is channeled through it. His strength is not channeling through through Black Whip. So I don't think he would be able to use Black Air Gust with Black Whip. At least not at his present level, and not in the traditional sense of, all right, I'm just going to throw Black Whip around and create a giant gust of air. No, you'd have to get a bit more creative with some of the other quirks like Black Whip. That is not to say it would be impossible. We know, like, for example, Midoriya was able to coil Black Whip around his arm and basically enhance his punch, as well as do kind of like a spring to push back the recoil. We also know that he learned to you throw straight black whip through his muscles and bones to keep them, but to brace them near the end of the series. So Black Whip's probably one of the best quirks in his arsenal. Midoriya and Naruto alike in this version, as well as, and I would say like the top three quirks that came out of One for All was Black Whip, Fajin. Fajin just takes a lot of build up. When you use Fajin correctly, it is massively powerful, and Gear Shift is insanely powerful. But that's it. And so Jiraiya's just thinking, Naruto. Oh, well, while you're working on that, I have an idea for you. And he basically, this is him talking about, I'm going to teach you how to tap into another power of yours. Another power? And he explains, you ever feel like you have another source of power inside you? Well, yeah, I have. All Might Sensei is like, Naruto. It's like, oh, yeah, sorry. Well, yes, I do. Well, and I'm guessing this is that One for All you're talking about. Yeah, that's great, but I'm not talking about that. And then Naruto keys in as Banjo kind of clues him in. He's talking about the Fox kid. Oh, yeah, him. You mean the Fox? Yeah, I'm aware of him. I see. Well, this is going to make things a lot easier. I'm going to teach you to try to tap into that without actually losing control. And so they talk. Basically, he goes through his exercises and his practices to learn the summoning jutsu to access the Fox's chakra. The thing about it is, it takes Naruto forever to run out of chakra because of One for All doubling his chakra reserves, if not more than doubling. I'm going to just go with a safe doubling because, quite frankly, the carried over amount of power each time from One for All, I have no idea what the theoretical multiplier ultimately became, because there is no real multiplier on One for All. It's accumulated strength on top of accumulated strength on top of accumulated strength, but each person's strength varied. So, I mean, yeah, someone's strength could rate at a 10 while another could rate at a 9. That adds on to 19. But with enough, if you add that on to the other person, their strength now when they get stronger rates at like a 50 something, and then you add that on. It's so accumulative that it's very difficult to really measure strength per se. But regardless, Naruto still is stressing this, and I think because of how much chakra he normally has, I think he gets down to summoning a lot quicker, to the point where at one point when summoning, he actually successfully summons Gamatatsu. Not Gamakichi, but Gamatatsu. Hi, everybody! I'm finally getting a chance to shine. Howdy-ho! Because let's not lie, he sounded like Mr. Hanky. And Jiraiya's like, I gotta admit, kid, I'm impressed. Most of us only ever summon a tadpole at first, maybe a tadpole with legs. But to summon a full-blown toad, even when his weak is Gamatatsu, that's impressive. And all of a sudden he pulls out Shine. Right, here you go, Gamatatsu. Sorry. Thanks, Jiraiya. That was really nice. Boop. And disappears. And so Naruto's like, oh, yeah, word of advice, kid. At least with the smaller toads, always have some snacks on the standby. And so Naruto keeps practicing. Eventually, even summons Gamakichi. Hey, how you doing there? How you doing there? I'm Naruto Uzumaki. Gamakichi. It's great to meet you. So, Jiraiya, this is the new summoner? I like him. And Jiraiya said to give you this. He's like, chips, thanks. Well, if you ever need any assistance, I'm not really good for combat right now, but I can help you track if you need to. Later. And so I always liked Gamakichi. Gamakichi was a fun little toad. Who doesn't love Gamabuta as well? And so eventually, Naruto, him, and Jiraiya are nearing the end of training. Naruto's got a good grasp of how to use the air currents or air pressure blasts well. He's even gotten a little creative using like multiple ones to like cage someone. That's another way. When you have multiple copies of yourself, you can fire multiple wind blasts at once. For example, causing like a wind cage. And then Naruto can come in and just blast it. Uzumaki Futon Prison. Uzumaki Futon Prison, and then he get crashed, and then Futon Prison break. You break the prison. That could be a fun technique. I don't know if I'll probably throw it out at some point. Not in the next fight, mind you, but not with Neji, but at some point I'll throw it out. Because I literally just thought that up. I'm like, that's a good idea. Naruto's also kind of figured, at least on some level, how to use it with Black Whip to some degree. He's kind of figured out the idea of curling Black Whip around his arm and then providing a wind blast to like throw Black Whip at a more heightened velocity or something like that. He's figuring ideas out. Or using Black Whip in conjunction with like the slash of wind, kind of throw Black Whip in a more volatile manner. Again, the idea of him using the wind gusts with Black Whip is a little difficult at the moment. Ultimately, though, Jiraiya realizes he still hasn't really gotten it down yet, and so he says, "Hey, Naruto, come here. Where's All Might Sensei? He'll be here in a little while, but there's something I want to show you." And then it's like, "This? Well, that's a big hole." "Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, you haven't quite gotten there. You've got managed some of the smaller toads, but I need you to really tap into it, to what you're dealing with now, or what you got in there." And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You'll figure it out." Poof! Ah! And Naruto is falling, and he tries to use Black Whip, but I for a moment thought, oh yeah, he's going to be able to get out of there Black Whip. But when I remember how big that canyon is, he's really going to. I don't think he's going to be able to grab the walls with enough force to be like, God, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And then he goes into his mind, ain't there? And there's Banjo. It's like, I can't get out of here. Well, there's one way to go. There's one way out. And Jesus looks at the fox, finally meeting the fox officially, face to face. It's like, come closer. I almost had you, brat. All right, listen, Fox. I think you owe me a little rent. You're living here for free, so I think you owe me some rent. And just laughs it off. You've got guts, brat. You think you're so powerful because you have that ability passed on to you, but that ability doesn't belong to you. You're nothing but a fake in your own right. Still, I admire the bravery, so I will lend you my chakra. And so he summons Gamabunta. Woo, I did it! And the whole Jiraiya, where are you? I'm the one to summon you. Shut up! I am the great chief Toad Gamabunta, and you're an idiot! And gets out of there. Jiraiya's hiding. Where are you, Jiraiya? I told you I summoned you. Fine. I'll give you a deal. You can stay. If you are able to stay in my head till sunset, I'll acknowledge you as the one who summoned me. All right, fine. And Gamabunta's doing his damnedest. Luckily, Naruto does have, because he's also low on chakra. He's able to stick on his head for a little while with chakra, but his chakra starts to run low. His Black Whip, though, isn't dependent on chakra, so he is able to hold on kind of like a rodeo. Rodeo clown on a bull or a cowboy on a bucking bronco. Ultimately, he does succeed. Bunta acknowledges, I'm fully aware this boy summoned me. Still, I could help him, but he's better off with his own healers. And he takes him to the doctors. And so Naruto is recovering in the hospital, wakes up. All my say, Naruto, you're all right. Good to know. Good to see. You had a nice hell. Jiraiya said you completed his training though, so it's good to know you're okay. For now, rest. The tournament's not for another few days, so you'll be okay. And All Might goes. Naruto and Shikamaru ultimately confront Gaara. Nothing really would change from that except for how Naruto approaches attacking Gaara. And Naruto even says, I have a real monster in me. Really, you too? I was born a monster. And finally, Guy shows up and breaks it up. Naruto wanders for a little bit and just, feels down, ultimately running into Hinata, who ultimately cheers him up. Nothing about that would change. What does ultimately change, though, is their fight, which, let's get into that. The day the exams happen, Sasuke isn't there. Naruto's wondering where the hell he is. Naruto ultimately waits in the ring with Neji, and Neji just squares up on him, just says, do you have anything to say? And Naruto remembers what he did to Hinata, and just, I will win. And so Naruto and him are squaring off. Begin! And there's a moment, pause. Naruto immediately goes into all for one. Keep saying all for one. One for all. He's immediately at his 50. He's immediately at least 10%. Like, he's not going all out immediately, but he's at 10%. Now, keep in mind, too, I get the impression that even though the percentages stay the same, how strong those percentages are increases over time, because Midoriya never stops, getting stronger, per se. So the level of power his percentages are at, I think, also increase. I would say this is the same for Naruto, as he's been training pretty nonstop. So his 10% is honestly faster than it was before, which I say was probably equivalent with Lee with weights off. We know someone did bring up Neji is faster than Lee with his weights on, at least. Maybe with his weights off, although that's debatable. With the gates, though, we know for a fact he wouldn't be able to keep up. But Naruto comes in, he's moving fast, and Neji even acknowledges he is fast, but I'm still faster. And Naruto quickly realizes that oh crap, he is fast, and he's able to dodge a few times, but then he's about to get tagged for Naruto, just kind of like 1-inch punch, and Neji gets blasted back. Just what was that? I tried to block, and it's just that gust of wind again. And Naruto's got a little bit of a tss, and I missed. Okay, that's not. I guess I can't hold back against you, huh? He powers up to the 15%. Well, he was at 15% briefly. He went to 15%, and that's why he was able to dodge. He goes to 15%, and then makes some clones. Like about 5 of them. And he's like, I see you. I see. Thanks to that shadow clones, I'm not going to be able to figure out where you are because you evened out the chakra. Still, it's not enough. Not enough. And the Naruto's at 15%. Rush in, and he notes they're faster, and then he just and unfortunately he does actually get clipped, not tagged, but he gets clipped. But he's able to also tag the other clones. And once again, the real Naruto comes in and just blasts them. And the clones also kind of cage Neji a little bit with their own wind blasts. Neji, though, timing it properly, just activates, oh, damn it, rotation! Unfortunately, the wind blast is able to lift him up, and he goes into the wall, grinding into the wall with rotation as he just kind of, and just launches himself back at Naruto, just kind of like starts throwing shadow boxing, starts throwing hands. Naruto and Neji just does get hit again, but he's able to kind of just think words. He's able to kind of just brush it off. Just, it's like that. I'm not sure how you gain that ability. I'm not seeing any chakra in there. Naruto just kind of grins. Sorry, buddy. That's pure strength right there. That's what hard work gets you. I see. You think you sound like Lee, thinking that you can be a genius in something other than naturally. But the sad truth is, you both are just the same, fated to be losers. And so Naruto just again makes clones. They come in. However, Neji once again, just as he did in the original, bumps up his speed. And even though the Naruto's, I think maybe you're edging him out a bit, he is, because of his style of fighting, is tagging them all. It's no good hiding. It's no good making all these clones if you just hide in the back. Yeah. And Naruto just kind of grabs his hand a bit. You're probably right. And then Naruto's come in again. He does the rotation, and Naruto's Black Whip. And the Black Whip hits the rotation. Unfortunately, both are energy, and one is a spinning dome that's basically pulling things in, kind of, or pushing things away. So I have a feeling that it's either going to just push the Black Whip away, or worse, pull Naruto in. So Naruto's like, and Neji is like, I see it now. While they're not predominantly made of chakra, or some other energy, there's still chakra in there, which means I can disrupt it. And Naruto can feel his Black Whip gets disrupted. And Neji just comes in. Naruto's in midair, tries to dodge, and then gets hit right in the arm as he dodges. It's like, damn it! And he lands, and Naruto, unfortunately, has his back turned. You're within my divination, Naruto. It's like, crap! 8 trigrams, 2 palms, 4 palms, 8 palms, 16 palms, 32 palms, 8 trigrams, 64 palms. Crap! It's over. And then Naruto and him have their talk about destiny and this spiel about fate and what happened to his father. And it's like, so things happen. So what? And so what? You're the one who gets to make the decision. And so ultimately, Neji just decides to end Naruto there. And Naruto's like, I'm having trouble. I can't mold my chakra. Even Black Whip's having trouble activating. But because one for all isn't tied to his chakra, he just says, I can go to 20%. It's going to be tough on my body. Well, my body won't break. He's figured out, kind of like how Midoriya did, that he can push it harder to a degree, but he can't go all out right now. And so this is over, and he just comes in, and Naruto's just, 20%! Uzumaki, clap! But it's like, clap? Boom! Just, and just gets smacked right in the face. Neji's getting up, just, and Naruto's just like, come on, I need to be able to use my chakra. Just a little bit. Come on, Fox. Time to show some guts! And finally just activates the Fox's chakra. And he is, I'm starting to get warm. And he's got the Fox chakra coursing through him. Ultimately, they have their final clash, which results in Naruto pretty much dominating the rest of the fight. Even Neji's rotation, as Naruto wraps Black Whip around his arm, going in for the strike, goes 20% Fox chakra Black Whip punch. Yeah, that damn dome can't hold up to that. And just boom! boom, and just blast Neji straight into the wall this time. No tunneling underneath, none of that crap. Neji's beaten outright. Just craters in the wall. Just damn it. Ugh. The winner is Naruto Uzumaki. Ah! Naruto gives his speech about the jutsu I failed 3 times with the Shao clone jutsu. So don't tell me you can't change your destiny, because unlike me, you're not a failure. And he walks away. His body's hurting, but he's okay. Luckily, the Fox Chakra was there to help him recover too. And so yeah, there's that. Now, to summarize real quick the rest of the main part of the Chunin games before the invasion actually happens. We know the Shino Kankuro fight gets skipped. Shikamaru would fight Tamari. Sakura then fights Tamari. Now the question is, how has Sakura's training been going? Well, Sakura probably would have been studying mostly under Kurenai for Genjutsu as an ask for Kakashi, as well as getting some more physical training in. And because of that, and because she would have been tired out from Shikamaru, I actually think Sakura wins that fight. Using Genjutsu, her wits, she's still very intelligent. Tamari's probably a better tactician because she has more experience doing that, but she is a better she is still very smart. And Tamari would be tired out from the fight with Shikamaru to a degree. So Sakura would win that fight. Sasuke ultimately shows up with Kakashi, dukes it out with Gaara. He is stronger here and is handling Gaara more effectively than he did in the original. But that's when the invasion happens. And that is where we're going to end it for today. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you folks next time. Later.